up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. We are here at the 2023 Chicago Auto Show. And of course, walking around, we had to stop at the Chevrolet display area. And guess what I have right here? This is it. This is the all-new, totally redesigned 2023 Chevrolet Colorado. This particular one is the Trail Boss. But before we get into this new mid-size pickup truck that has that off-road capability, let's talk about what's going on here. Chevrolet, they've been doing the business since the early 1900s, started by Louis Chevrolet himself. Pickup trucks, of course, especially here in the United States, has always been a staple of the working part of the industry. But over time, pickup trucks have really kind of spread to other segments of the population. And now we see a big, huge cult following of trail-worthy, off-road-worthy pickup trucks. Now, the Colorado hasn't really seen a major redesign since about 2015. And this redesign is not only bringing changes to the exterior, changes to the interior, but also some different things going on underneath the hood. What I want to find out is, though, there's a lot of competition from the big three when it comes to pickup trucks. Has Chevrolet struck gold with the new Colorado, especially the Trail Boss trim? Let's go ahead, let's dive in and find out. Right off the bat, the style. You have an all-new wrapper. I love the way they went bold without going too over the top. You are gonna have a total of 5 different trims. It starts with the WT, and you could work your way up to the ZR2, and guess what? In a couple weeks, we're gonna be at the media drive for the Colorado ZR2, so stay tuned to that. But at the front of the business, you're gonna see how they reshaped the headlight housing, making it integrate nicely into the front grille area. On the lower portion, this is where you're gonna see that massive fender flare. This Colorado is wider than before. One area that I gotta zonk is this section here. This would have been nice if it was a functional air curtain or some LED lighting. It's basically there just for aesthetics. Now, with the Trail Boss, you are getting a 2-inch raise in the suspension over your standard Colorado. And then you're also getting the same wide track as the ZR2. And what is the track? The track is the space between the 2 front wheels. So it's just as wide as a ZR2. When it comes to ground clearance, you're looking at about 9.6 inches of ground clearance from the bottom level. That's gonna allow you to go a little bit more with those off-road areas. You got good sized tow hooks on both sides. And then of course, there's a little bit of protection with some skid plates underneath. Now, I'm really digging what they did with the new grille, the blacked out Chevrolet bow tie. We do have a forward-facing camera, which is so important on an off-road truck. And there's our new Trail Boss badge. Chevrolet does a great job with their badges. I think one thing that's really kind of making me like the front end of the business here is how they work the extra vents on the sides of the center grille. Very, very tasteful without going too over the top. Now, when we raise up onto the hood has a nice, bold appearance. You have a sort of like a valley in the center, and then you can see the rest of the body lines. It's hard to really see it on camera because it's black, but I'm trying to give you as much detail as I can with how they have a nice V shape on both sides of the hood, different than a Silverado. Don't think that they took the Silverado hood, shrunk it, and then threw it onto the Colorado. This hood is very unique. Now, underneath the hood, that's where there's a lot of big discussion. You're gonna have a 2.7 liter turbocharged engine. No more V6. The 2.7 liter turbocharged engine is bolted to an 8-speed automatic. Across all trims, it's gonna be an 8-speed automatic. You're looking at 301 horsepower. You could tow up to 7,700 pounds with this Colorado ZR2. Just something to think about. As we go around the bend, and we gotta go real wide, check out that fender flare. Now, as we kind of drop down, you'll notice the gloss black on these wheels. These wheels are specific to the Trail Boss, and what they're gonna be wrapped in, those Goodyear Wrangler off-road tires. Nice to see that tire on this particular wheel. Really looking good, 18-inch wheel. You can see the amount of wheel travel we're gonna be able to get from the beefed up suspension. Remember, the whole chassis platform has been redone for the new Colorado. It's not just simply a refresh, this is a redesign, all new suspension, all new chassis with the Trail Boss. Now, as we come down the side, you have your color matched mirror caps. We do have our 360-degree camera. Our Colorado badge would have been nice if it was blacked out. And then you'll notice from the side just how much ground clearance we have. Now, my recommendation would be to get some GM Performance accessory rock sliders. Those would look really good, and those are also gonna protect the frame of the vehicle of the Trail Boss. Of course, you're gonna get the quad cab setup with your 4 doors, so you have that rear seat usability. And then working towards the rear, we have very nicely done with the way that they did the rear bed area, how it kind of flares out. You got your fender flare, our Trail Boss badging on the side of the bed. And then when we get to the rear, you'll see what they did. Stamp that Chevrolet name in the center. We got our new taillight design. And then of course, just like the bigger brother, we had them add the extra steps so that you could get in and out. And I'll kind of demonstrate that for you on camera right now. So real nice wide opening. You could get Pumas in there. You could get work boots. And that's gonna allow you to reach in and out very quickly. As we kind of drop all the way down, of course, you got your towing capability. Like I said, 7,700 pounds. We got a 2-speed transfer case and a rear limited slip diff. Now to obviously open up the bed, it's got that nice soft release. Full bed liner, you got your manual sliding rear cab window. I like the way it's got all our tie down locations. One thing that's missing that I gotta give a zonk is that there's no LED lighting in the bed and there's no power outlet. You can see over there how that would be an optional piece with that plastic square that's kind of blocking off. And then really the new thing with this whole setup is gonna be the rear opening cargo area. So you have this rear cargo area that's gonna open up very easily as I slide these 2 pieces here. There we go. Waterproof. You can keep your Twinkies nice and wet. Nobody likes a soggy Twinkie. I promise you that. But this is actually watertight, airtight, Twinkie tight. You could put, I would say, easily 42 Twinkies in there. Close it up, lock it down. You could even measure your Twinkies. So if you and your friends are around and you're trying to figure out who has the biggest Twinkie, you actually have full measurement increments on the bed. And the tailgate, close it up. Let's get to the interior of this all-new Colorado and see what big things are in store for us. All right, guys, business time in this 2023 Colorado Trail Boss, this being the second from the top trim. ZR2 is at the top, Trail Boss slots in right underneath it. Now, no official pricing yet for the new Colorado, but I'm sure if you're smart, you would realize that Chevrolet is gonna be competitive with the pricing. Lots of competition in this mid-size segment. It's gonna be interesting to see how it stacks up, but let's see what you get if you go Trail Boss to the door panels. The zonk is a lot of hard black plastic, especially up top. I know that a lot of you are gonna say, well, if I'm off-roading, I want something that's gonna be easy to clean. Well, guess what? You got your wish granted. The door panel is gonna be very easy to clean, but it's hard plastic everywhere. You do have a Twinkie tray on the backside, just one Twinkie, that's it. And then you could put your Yeti bottle in that cup holder, that Yeti bottle of hot chocolate milk. Now, when you're going from the door panel to the dash, same news. You have this hard plastic. I'm actually surprised that there's no simulated stitching or anything like that. The good news is it's gonna cut down on glare when you are off-roading. And that's something that's very important. You don't wanna be blinded by the sun as you're about to fall off the side of a mountain. Check this out. You got a mountain-size infotainment system, 11-inch in size. You got your Google Maps, nice large screen. And I like the way that they kind of bring it to the edge of the gauge instrumentation to make it look complete and cohesive, so it's not just floating in space. But Chevrolet does a great job with their overall displays and everything. Very easy to navigate through, and it's very intuitive. And obviously we're at the car show here. I can't show off all of the goodies, but I could give you a little taste of what it looks like while you're pushing through all the buttons and whatnot. But real easy to figure out what the heck is going on. Even hill descent control, which is a nice touch. You have a blower fan switch and a temperature switch. So no dual climate. There's your AC vents blended in. You got a couple toggle switches, USB-C, USB-A, and then a place to put, I would say, 3 Snickers. And then this is gonna control your 8-speed automatic. There is some gloss black, which doesn't make sense. I don't know why it's here, especially because you're gonna get all these fingerprints, but you do have your rotary dial to go from auto to 4 high to 4 low to 2-wheel drive because this is a 4x4. 2 cup holders with your camo tech in there. Nice high armrest. Open it up, you got a 12 volt, and you could easily put, I would say, 6 Beanie Baby dolls. So if you've been holding on to your Beanie Baby since the 90s, waiting for them to appreciate in value, keep them in here so that nobody messes with them. And then maybe in the year 2300, you'll be able to sell them on eBay and retire. Seats in the Trail Boss, they are cloth. Good news is it's grippy, and I like the 2-tone color. You have manual adjustments for the passenger, power adjustments. Because I'm the king of this trail, I'm the trail runner, I got power adjustments on the driver's side. But why don't you come over to the driver's side? I want to show you behind the wheel of this new Colorado. Guys, business time behind the wheel of the new Colorado Trail Boss. You do have your seat controls, including your lower lumbar, so you can make sure that your lower back stays in shape as you're going through the trails and being the boss. Remember that show, Who's the Boss? But anyways, steering wheel. No leather, it's that Rubbermaid material. It's very interesting how they spec'd this particular Trail Boss, but I do like the new look to the Chevrolet steering wheel with the blacked out bow tie, flat black on all the buttons, and you do have an 8-inch digital gauge cluster. Can't show you yet, but I'm telling you, within a week or so, we're gonna be in San Diego driving the new Colorado, so I'll be able to show you all the ins and outs and make you real happy. I'm 6 feet tall, and I like the space that's in here. Let's go ahead, let's get into the back seat and see if those passengers are gonna be just as happy as I am sitting up front. All right, guys, back seat time, and what I did was I lifted up the rear seat to kind of show you the storage that's underneath. So if you have maybe a present that you wanna give to somebody, you could keep it under the seat, out of sight, out of mind, until they're deserving of that present. And this side also rises up, but it would be kind of a weird camera trick to be able to lift it up while I'm sitting in the chair. Now on the backs of the seats, you don't have any pockets. So if you have that big, huge calzone, you're gonna have to hold on to it in between your legs. And if your driver is off-roading, that's gonna be a hot mess that's gonna get all over you. So just be advised, eat the calzone before you get in the Colorado. You do have 2 simple cup holders and 2 small AC vents, but it's nice to show that they care. Down below, no connectivity, just a plastic piece of center console. That's a zonk, but actually not too bad. I just finished a bottle of water. I don't need that. Feels more spacious than the previous generation. And don't forget, we do have our manual sliding cab window. No armrest for the center here in this particular Trail Boss. But why don't we go ahead, let's wrap it up, because we're gonna be driving these things in just a short 2-week period. Let's wrap it up from Chicago. All right, guys, it's been a fun time here at the Chicago Auto Show. Definitely gotta thank everybody at Chevrolet for allowing us access to this new Colorado Trail Boss. Let me know what you think. Is this the way that you would spec your Colorado for 2023? Let me know in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raity's Rides family. We got to give it up to LG Raiti, working that camera like a champ. Show us some love in the comment section. Thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.